Patrick, nice to see you again. Mm-hmm.
So, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where you are watching from, depending on where you are listening from. This is Miro African Diaspora TV, MAD. We are live on Facebook on this day, December 4th, 2021. It is exactly 8:16. It is exactly 8:16 p.m. here in Germany. I am your host, Robinson Afamefuna Ambrose. Welcome to the show, Think Tank, where we discuss political and cultural issues about Africa and Africans in diaspora. In today's show, we're going to talk about the two most popular music genres in Africa and Nigeria, if you will, and the impact they have on Nigerians, especially in this time of insecurity in that part of country. Today's topic, to discuss this topic, we are being joined, or we are joined by two popular Afrobeat singers, M. Josh, who joins us live on Facebook, and M. Josh, welcome to the show, Think Tank.
Thank you.
Also with me on the conference today is the popular gospel singer, Ella. So Ella, welcome to the show, Think Tank.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
And as a matter of fact, we also have our usual contributors. We have in the conference, Mazi Ismail Amuzie. Ismail Amuzie, you are highly welcome. We have Mazi George in UBC. And
thank you, Mazi Robinson. Thank you, co-contributor.
And we are starting this program right now. And we are going to delve into the issue at hand, which is the impact of these songs the impact of these songs, these popular songs, this popular music genre on the populace, especially that of the south part of Nigeria. And then, like I've said, this is Miro African Diaspora. This is a program where we talk cultural and social and cultural issues concerning Africans. And okay, someone should mute his mic and.
Okay. I think we should move.
Monday, Joseph.
Okay. Yes, it's on mute, sorry.
All right. So Once again, this is Miro African Diaspora, the leading media in representation of African culture and politics. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube to be notified each time we post a new video. I'm going to start with you, M. Josh. I first come across your song. It was during the lockdown in Germany. I asked you for a permission to post your song on our page, which you accepted. Your song, Korodabo. That was Korodabo, right? Do you remember?
Yeah, I do remember Dabo Koro during the coronavirus pandemic.
That was the first time I came across your song. And I was like, what is this? What am I hearing? I said, I must find this guy. And I was happy when you gave me the permission to post it, you know. And I posted it. That was when we started. All right. So currently, there are big restrictions on movement across the country. And as a result of this insecurity in Nigeria, also as a result of the Corona saga. And I would like to ask you, how does the circumstance affect your music?
Well, thank you for asking this question. At least you see, this Nigeria issue in general, comparing to my kind of music, is really affecting me. You know, in general context, if you're doing normal entertainment like singing music or entertaining people and stuff, okay, you can be called upon for shows and stuff. You can get invitations. But in my case, I think if maybe you were following me up sometime last year, you see sometime when I posted the threats that I got from the Nigerian military concerning the song I released sometime in 2020, movie in Aso Rock. So, coupled with that and many other insecurity reasons, I don't play shows. For now, I will really tell you that my music, I use it for the sake of the purpose of activism, to speak out for my oppressed people. Okay, it's not business now for me. For real, it's not business for me because I don't feel safe. I don't walk about freely. I don't have my freedom. I can't walk around. I got threats, series of threats from the Nigerian military, threatening to kill me for the kind of songs I was doing. So that's it. I don't have the freedom to walk about or talk more of playing shows. Even if I'm invited somewhere in Nigeria, honestly, I will tell you, I will turn it down, like I've turned many down, because I don't know who is who. Okay? That's just
it. Okay. Oh my God, that's a pity. Because one thing that could happen to an artist is to be deprived the right to express this art. Although you are doing a political song, but you are not the first person doing political song or political music. There have been a lot of people that do political music, and yet they are allowed to do it. Even in Germany, there were a lot of arts producers or theater producers, somebody like Bertolt Brecht. I don't know if any of you know, I've heard of the name. He's a very a popular theater producer in Germany. Or if you want to talk about dramaturgy, he was more or less a political, it was more or less political art that he produced, and yet he was allowed to live. And even your idol, if I might say, Fela, of course, he went through hell. He went through hell. So maybe you should take example from him. Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
So that's it. It's different from you, like you're talking about people who did political music in foreign countries and stuff, Europe, America, anywhere else, you can have your freedom to express yourself. But it's not like that in Nigeria. You make an ordinary post. In Nigeria, you wear clothes. There are clothes that you're restricted to wear in Nigeria. You know, there are clothes. You put on clothes that has color of the Biafra flag or stuff. You will be arrested by the DSS and be prosecuted. In fact, not even by the right, unjustly arrested, kidnapped and stuff like that. Many people are lost and they are looking for them all over the places over here. So that's just it. It's not more of making music that is speaking against the government. You can imagine that. So that freedom of expression doesn't work here in Nigeria, to be frank with you.
All right.
That is it.
Well, it's such a pity. Well, but you must continue, isn't it? You're not giving up.
Sure. No. Giving up is not an option. It's not an option for me.
Well, I have people trying to enter our business, so I'm trying to organize it. And essentially, oh, Mazi Ezeron is also there. So essentially, you are is your life in is your life in jeopardy? Would we say that you can't move again? I mean, but you still have the strength to move around, or are you in a hiding place all the time? You have to,
well, as a matter of fact, it has cost me a lot. The question you just asked now, because personally, despite singing, I'm a music producer. Okay, I produce music. It's my job. Despite the singing, I work for people. I produce artists. But as a matter of fact, now I can tell you that if this is a live stream, everybody's listening to me. Most of my customers, most of my artists, they can testify to this, that I can't even I don't let people come to visit me in the studio anymore because I don't have a fixed address or where I stay. Do you understand?
Okay.
Where I'm broadcasting now is an anonymous location.
Wow.
So that is how far.
That's terrible.
If I have to go out, I have to go out without anybody knowing I'm going out. Maybe I have to just sneak out and do my shit and come back. That is how far, how much of how it is.
Okay. Do you allow me to play any of your songs right here?
Sure.
All right. Let's listen to one of his songs, the song I actually posted the first time I saw his music, so we can go on. All right?
Money come fly, you not the conquer. When go to gun show, hospital close, everybody running, church shut down. Professional doctors, ain't that goes to make it on show for the big man house. Hospital nadado, facilities nadado, education nadado. Power supply na zero. Now go to show for area. Use headline don't talk. Chief of staff don't carry. The governors don't carry. Say ministers don't carry on. Say senators don't carry on. Like president don't carry on. But rich and poor go suffer this thing. Hospital they no get. Facilities they no get. 9.1 billion for pocket. Professional doctors in Tagus. London hospital close borders. Corona never show. Stay head on show. Say that man in Lagos. Country getting plenty doctors. Money come fly. Doctor come down. Just welcome to Animal Kingdom. Animal City. Welcome to Animal Kingdom. Zoological Kingdom. Welcome to Animal Kingdom. Animal City.
The video is showing there, you can play it.
Well, gentlemen, you guys saw what is going on there. We didn't get the picture, but the music was moving on. As you can see, this young man is more involved in a political stuff that does not sound very well to the government of the day. And unfortunately, he happens to be doing this in a country whereby all sort of freedom is restricted. It's very unfortunate. It's very unfortunate that such a talent cannot be outlived because of your place of origin. I mean, where you come from. Like I've said, but you go on. Such is life. I mean, you can't stop the light from shining. It's just about a matter of time. So let's listen to your colleague, Ella. Ella, I would ask you the question. The same goes to you. Does this current insecurity or the Corona saga affect your music, your gospel music?
To tell you the truth, there is this belief I have that is actually propelling my continuity, I would say, that the dry bone shall rise again. Because when it comes to my...
Could you place your camera a bit above your head? We cannot see your face very well.
Okay.
Yes, it's good like this. Very good.
Fine. I said that there is this belief I have that is helping me to prepare what I'm doing. That's continuity of what I'm doing, that the dry bone shall rise again. Okay? Because for Nigeria now, when you talk about freedom, there's no freedom anywhere. There's no freedom anywhere in every area of life. There's no freedom anywhere because even as a gospel artist, there are things you will say, even some fellow Christians will see you as a threat. There is a reality that we are facing. Yes, there are some videos, there are some albums I had to allow to lie low because I know what it's going to be like. Okay, so and you find out that whenever you're trying to be original, you gather a lot of enemies because somehow we already mentally shifted to the wrong direction. That's the way I see it. So you try to paddle what you say, what you sing, in order not to look like an antichrist when you have nothing to do with being an antichrist. Okay, I don't know how to put it, but to be sincere, generally in Nigeria, we watch what we do today. Yes, be you a gospel artist, be you whatever, we watch what we do today. Seriously, we do. There is no security, there is no freedom anywhere. Yeah.
Okay. Now, floor is open for you, gentlemen. We're starting with Mazi George. Your take. The music, political music, or call it political music or gospel song, there is always a restriction. But I think that of the political song by M. Josh is most disturbing. It's he's been deprived the possibility of being who he wants to be. It's more or less in an isolation. Your take.
Yes, thank you very much, Master Robinson, for having me. Thank you as well, gentlemen and ladies, and indeed listeners.
2 minutes.
Yeah, thank you. It's actually sad, you know, from the point of view of restricting art, you know. Art is actually a way of expressing both the positive and negative ills of the society. It can be demonstrated in music, in writing, in film industry. And when it happens that the government of the day are not comfortable with a certain movie, a certain music, or a certain write-up, then it becomes suppression of art. It becomes entirely against the fundamental norms with which we are to live as human beings. It is actually sad, but what I will say in general is that the world is about the survival of the fittest. It's all about the hunter and the hunted. And like you said, we must not allow, you know, what I would call the anti-human to blanket us, to put a blanket on our individual gifts or ingenuity. What we must do, like, you know, my sister said, being very tactful, being even more logic in our choice of words, you know, so that we find a way of passing out our message without actually stepping directly on anybody's toes. The case of Nigeria is so obvious that, you know, the picture is very open. But even at that, an artist must be, must know how to navigate within in a given situation, right, or should try to navigate, you know, but not to lose sight of his endowment or what he's doing. Right. I give my kudos to the young man. Actually, I've heard that music, and I took it to be, you know, one of our nice music, but I haven't seen the young man, you know, that did that. It's nice. Yeah. It's nice. I will tell you that giving up is not an issue, like you said. But I will say your words must be very articulate and well chosen. You know?
Okay. It is essentially a problem. That's where the restriction starts, when an artist has to choose that word, has to become choosy of the word he used, because it is more or less, I mean, it's
You're right. You see, I was actually trying to, because it was hard for me to vomit those words. Yes. But I have to say it, understanding the sticky situation that people are faced in, you know, in that in the context.
Let's go to the question to you, as a room. Are you there?
Yeah.
Should I repeat my question once again?
Yeah, just tell me briefly your question.
Okay. We are talking about the restriction of artists, placing a kind of restriction on them on what they should say or what they shouldn't say. It is, as a matter of fact, it's proven that in the current regime, in the current situation of Nigeria, that people like this young man you are seeing here today has been restricted in one way or the other. He has gotten threats, as he said, and we are discussing now my question was if the current situation gives him restriction in his art performance, and he said yes. So I want your take. What does it mean for an artist to have such a restriction? What do you think it means to be?
First of all, we need to understand there have been this restriction from the onset. It's not really starting from him himself, you know, and especially in the line of kind of music he has chosen. He's playing like the kind of fella. He's doing real Afro music. You understand? He's using Afro music to express himself and tell stories that affect everyone.
Political music.
Politically. So, and unfortunately, he's going to really get it hard from the same people, the same government that have frustrated people like the fella Nicolako and all that. Now, this is just one. Now, let's look at this aspect. Nigeria, the National Theatre, if you know AY the comedian, AY, he used to have his there's a program to those days in the National Theatre. At National Theatre, the main bowl, National Theatre, the director of the National Theatre was I can't remember his name. It's been long now. He's a professor. He's a professor now. If I remember his name while he's talking, I will mention it.
Never mind. Go ahead.
He's a professor. He allowed AY to put up a program to give talented comedians a platform to rise. When they changed the DG to Yaradua, his name is Yaradua, then he came because he's a Muslim. Yakubu Yaradua, the director of the National Theatre. Before it was Ahmed Yerima, Professor Ahmed Yerima. So when Ahmed Yerima was there, the National Theatre was booming with events, weddings, special occasions. So when it now changed, when they changed the regime of Ahmed Yerima to Yaradua, Yusuf Yaradua, Yusuf, now being a Muslim, said that he would not allow the National Theatre to accept weddings, church programs, and he pushed away AY. Then AY, all of a sudden, went to Muson Center and started afresh. And that was where the program AY picked up. You understand? So this is to tell you that it didn't start today. What I'm telling you is just the history of how the Nigeria political setup has been frustrating the arts. So it has not started, it didn't start with him. And two other story I want to tell again is, number two story that I want to tell that is very, very, very important is this. In the movie industry, when I went to censor my movie at Ikoyi, near Alagmo, when you want to censor your movie, the Film Commission, you see that the people that will censor your movie, they know nothing about film industry. They are civil servants that doesn't even know anything about film. They have been given things that should be allowed to go. Film Censors Board should be allowed to rate a movie. Just rate it. Give it underage, above 18, plus 18, and whatever. Just categorize the movie. But at the end, they don't do that. What they do is that they tell you this movie will not go. Just because maybe one line, they'll tell you go and remove that line if you want this movie to go. So what I'm telling you is that the Nigeria industry, the Nigeria art in general, we have faced a lot of all this. But God so kind, the social media industry has come in to change that. So there's no way they can censor it. And that was what led to Twitter ban and all of those things. So you should understand how it metamorphosed to this phase that we are in now. So if you're facing it, you should understand where the problem started. Now it has changed to a level that the international community are now involved, banning of Twitter, the Facebook regulation, and the WhatsApp, they are coming in, a lot of other stuff. So please, we expect more, of course. We know that they will come up with more ideas to kill the art, but we must always keep doing it. The suite right now is outside Nigeria. Because why? They said she was the one that actually, she supported the NSAS movement and all that. Right now, she's outside Nigeria. She's not in there. So a lot of activities that have been frustrating artists in Nigeria. So that's why a lot of artists like us, we prefer to run and stay out of Nigeria so that we can have freedom. I can make a movie, yeah, I'm in Spain. I can make a movie and just put it on the YouTube. Nobody's going to come and harass me. Nobody's going to talk to me and all that. So
we're going to get to that once again. For your information, Mazi Ezeruan is a Nollywood film producer. For those who don't know him, he is a Nollywood film producer, and he lives currently in Spain. So he has become one of the regular contributors on this program. So yes, as time goes on, you keep knowing him, and we call on you outside there also to go to the YouTube and look some of his films. They are pretty nice things he has there in the YouTube. For example, the so-called Feminista. I think that must be a very nice film. It's of modern time and it's nice to watch. So going to the second question I want to start with you, Ella.
Okay.
Is it easy to become a musician in Nigeria? What problem or challenge do you face as an emerging or as an upcoming artist? Let me put it that way.
My dear, the word easy is not even involved when it comes to becoming
okay. And what are the challenges?
A musician in Nigeria is not easy at all. Challenges? Yeah, so many challenges there. One, to even come up with a producer an album is very, very expensive. Outside that, now when you struggle to come up with your album, you start going to marketers, they start bringing their demands, which I personally have such problems. Then when you get to marketer, it looks as if that you need to sacrifice beyond human imagination before you can get into the market. Yes, I had to pity so many persons. My first album, I started doing the marketing myself. Even after paying the distributor and everything needed, what I was demanded of to do before my music could enter markets was horrible to be heard. So I got mad. At the end of that, I found out that everything I spent was in vain. I started doing the distribution myself, unless I will accept their conditions. So a lot is wrong. But I know that there is something that I believe in. So far, some persons succeeded positively. We have to keep trying to get there. Everybody must not mess up to get there. But when you talk about being easy, it is not easy at all. It is not easy at all in any way. When it comes to the financial part of it, people hardly, in this our side of the nation, I don't know whether it's everywhere, but people hardly see talents as something that was supporting. All they need is get a job, that mentality. With some persons like me, I hate job naturally. I love doing my own things. So I had no support. I was like a prodigal daughter for a long time until when I started working it out, because I hated to be just bottled one place, to be told what to do for a whole year, the same thing you're doing every day. Are you getting it? So naturally, I can die in a job. I can die out of high BP in a job. Then now,
I know what you're saying. You can be rest assured that I understand exactly what you're saying.
Yes. I even, so I know what
that's the problem of every artist.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. An artist is called for what is called self-fulfillment. And that is what you want, not job. Yeah. You rather do those things and die in hunger, but just that is very, very important. If you can get it done, you have actually you have all that you needed. So go on, please.
Yeah, so actually it was not easy, and it made me to start organizing what I call tribe of worshippers, because I started singing as a child. I knew how old I was before I could start producing an album. Okay, so I started gathering some of them, which Smile knows about the second phase of the tribe of worshippers we do, where we gather to help ourselves in the industry, because I've seen that the people we depend on to, maybe you already have your track, you already have your album, you get a distributor to distribute it, that you will still have a long way to go. Sorry to say this, our distributors are not helping at all. Even when you have your money, they need to put you in something that when your ear hears it, you blow up. Are you getting it? And they'll be giving it to you as a condition. If not, you go with your album. Such conditions scared me. My first distributor was like, oh. Then I understood what some person must have passed through, and we tried to organize ourselves to do it like a networking. Let's carry ourselves up there. We may not need this man. Yes, that's the truth. Yeah.
All right. Josh.
Yeah.
Josh, how is it? Easy? Difficulty? Producing? How do you manage to become who you are today?
Like my sister said, like Ella said, there is nothing like easy anywhere close to this. Okay.
Yes, I was just teasing when I used the word easy. I did it intentionally.
I will tell you, like, let me quote one scripture. I remember one scripture saying, it's easier for the head of the bull to pass through the eye of a needle than the rich man getting into the kingdom of God. Now, I rephrase that scripture to this. It's been a long time coming, you know. You see, sometimes when you see an artist succeeding to limelight, it looks like, wow, he just came out and made it. It's a hell-like journey. Honestly, I don't even know where to start. Because me as a person, I went through hell to get to the little level I have seen myself, still aiming high. I know the price I am still ready to pay, because I know there are lots of prices to pay. Okay? It may not be like I'm not a woman, I'm a guy. So it may not be like, oh, maybe someone is giving me this offer. Oh, you have to mess up here to go through this and to get to here. A man like me, I have to pay off every angle with my money. You produce, you make videos, you start going around to see OAPs. And you see, the music industry in Nigeria has been kidnapped and monopolized by the rich. Music used to be something of a creative mind that the street boys, like they call us when we were growing, they used to call us street boys. They used to see people who do music like people who maybe are rejected by their families, or maybe people who whose family has no money to send.
I think you have to turn off your Facebook. You have to turn off your Facebook speaker, because it's echoing. I think it's on.
Oh, okay.
That on Facebook, not
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that you will not be hearing yourself again.
Yeah. So is it clear now?
Yes.
Is it clear now?
It's better.
Okay. It's better.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So
it's still there.
You see, yeah. It's still there. Okay, maybe I have to put my phone away from. Hold on. Is it still there?
Go on. Let's see.
Okay. So honestly, it's something I can't explain all. I was lucky though. Something happened to me. Something terrible happened to me in 2004. The first time after I struggled to manage to get a marketer who gave me attention in 2004. And I was asked to go and make a video of some songs that the marketer agreed to. published for me then. And I came to some video makers, somebody in Port Harcourt, because I grew up in Port Harcourt. I started my music career in Port Harcourt. I paid the guy, and I can remember somebody in 2004 eating my 250,000, making me gather people, whole lot of people, my friends, people invited people for the video, and he disappointed me on that day and never turned up. That was the day I told myself, I'm going to take my production skill serious, because it was me using church piano to create beats, using floppy disk to copy it, taking it to the studio, giving studio engineer to help me mix and stuff. So when this thing happened to me in 2004, I had to wake up to the reality of, man, I have to produce myself by myself. And I took it up. And that was the first phase of escaping producers' pain and torments. But the torment is not ended yet. We are still going through hell in the hands of OAPs. Like I said, the rich have monopolized the music industry. Somebody going to an OAP, giving an OAP like $1 million naira. You hear some people, I don't want to mention them, giving out huge sum of money to OAPs. Like the Igbo people will say, the OAP is a real loan, the amount is wide, filled with a whole lot of money and stuff. So if you don't have that money, you can't measure up. You see, even like the television, the TVs, you have to play your songs. There are certain grades. Like if I have to go to certain TVs, I have to pay certain amount of money. But like my brother said here, thank God for social media. Social media came and gave little leverage to uprising artists. Sincerely speaking, it's not easy. If not for social media, I don't think the little relief we have, I don't think you would even hear some of the songs you're hearing from me. So it's really hell difficult rising to the top from Nigeria.
During our last show, a Nigerian artist told me that one of our let me hear from you first, Mazi Anweze, because it was in expectation that you are also an artist. You are into production, Mazi Anweze.
Yes.
How is there a relation between the Nigerian problem and that of Germany? What can you say to that?
Well, what my fellow musicians are saying is also one of the things, like Mazi Ezwerum said, is also the same thing that drove a lot of us out here. I remember 2010, I was back home 2010, 2011, 2012. I was trying to promote songs. I went to Alaba International. I saw hell. in fact, I was in Lagos. I spent 3 months in Lagos. Imagine, my very first time of staying in Lagos for quite a long time, spending 3 months just trying to promote the LOVE album. That was then when I released the LOVE album. In fact, I suffered in the hand of both the producers, both the promoters, both the televisions, both the everything, that I was so sick that I was rushed. I was rushed emergency back to Germany with an option. And then as I returned back to Germany, I was in an intensive station for 17 good days. And I was told then, had it been that I spent more 9 days in Nigeria, there is nothing they could do about me. So I could have been a bygone by now. So that's why when we were saying,
right?
Yes. So that is the reason why when they are saying all these things, I'm just like sitting in this place, picturing road, back, all the whole stuff. I was like almost like a mad person in Lagos, so I it's not even something to talk about. Sometimes when I see the pictures, and the videos and a lot of things, then that one is apart. Then you talk about 2014 again, trying to push something at home. You talk about then, you know, going to banks, taking loans, and then pushing on to do a promotion back home. And then you return back here each and every time to start back from square one. So, and the people looking at you and saying, you know, it seems like, because one believe in his talent, one just, you know, like like Ella said, you know, I'm kind of somebody that believe that, you know, this musical talent is something that I started from right from my young age, being somebody that come from being a son of a great preacher man. I grew up seeing my brothers and sisters, everybody playing instrument. So I've been playing instrument, working all the whole of my life have been music and entertainment, you know, and so, and then trying to push it, trying to also make a living, and then also to, you know, come out in a way that one can be able to share this fun and this joy and this love to the rest of the world. And then coming from a particular area that is so, I don't know the right word to use, that the system that is operating in the place that we find ourselves, or we originally came from, becomes a very, very place that one don't need to talk about the artist. Like I can also agree what
Right.
M. Josh said. It have been so monopolized now that the people, if you look at the entertainment industry
What
now,
is monopolized? Sorry. What has been monopolized?
you know, let's say the music industry have been
Yes.
so
How?
much. Yes, it have been so, it have gone, or let me not use the word, let me say it have been shifted in a way whereby the platform there is no longer a platform whereby everyone, more people, the talented one can easily come out and share their talent with the rest of the world. So
Yes,
each and every
especially
day,
the beginners.
yes, the beginners. So they are just making it more and more and more and more and more and more hard and more difficult. And those are the things that really, and then you are talking on some of the choices of the music. Like let me say what
right.
George, let me contribute on what the kind of Afrobeat. We know that Afrobeat, Baba Fela have been the one that have be able to, you know, to bring Afrobeat in international stage, international spotlight. And it had been an activist music. And when looking at the lifestyle, what Fela went through, being prisoned, you know, being tortured, so on and so on, then you know that then it still never did anyone that chooses that direction of music, you still have to, it is something that you have to make up your mind to know that it's not going to be easy at all. You know? Yes.
So during our last show, I said it again. This guy told us that mentioned the issue of platform not being available. He mentioned this problem of platform, saying I don't know if you remember.
Yes, in the Nollywood, yes.
Yes, he mentioned the platform. And actually, we agreed that the issue of platform shouldn't be much as a problem, because there are all these social amenities, social medias that could help someone advertise his or her song nowadays without the influence of the big body or big people, like you just said. Having said this, I would like to ask both of you about your source of inspiration. What inspired you? Let me start with you, M. Josh. What inspired you to do Afro music or Afrobeat and not other song like gospel song or reggae music or high life, just like or gospel song like Ella is doing? What inspired you? I mean, why Afrobeat?
Well, let me start from Let me start by answering this question from like this. I do any genre of music. I can be anything at any time. I can be anybody at any time. If you hear me do high life, you will never believe I can do Afrobeat. If you hear me and then if you hear me do reggae, you won't believe I can fit in anywhere. I started music in the church. But for a reason, I decided to choose Afrobeat. Although I fell in love with Afrobeats, my dad introduced me to Afrobeat while I was a kid. My father suffered pain in the hands of Buhari as back as within 1983 to 85. Okay? All of my father's shop were demolished somewhere around Port Harcourt within them. So my father was one of the victims of Buhari's previous regime.
What has Buhari got to do with Port Harcourt?
That was back then. My dad used to tell me a lot about, I didn't know Buhari till 2015. But I always hear my dad talk about Buhari and the Diabo and how their regime affected him. I was a child. My dad died when I was within 12 to 13 years. So I grew up till today, till now. I don't know who Diabo is. I don't know how he looks. I never knew how Buhari was till 2015. When I saw him coming, when I heard somebody, the next presidential aspirant is somebody Buhari, Buhari, it sounds familiar. I started researching and discovered it was the same man my dad was talking about years back. So something happened. My dad was a lover of Fela's music. Okay? I grew up hearing my dad play Fela's music. My dad loved Fela so much. So I grew up hearing Afrobeat. I listened to lots of music growing up. I listened to Majek Fashek. I used to like Majek Fashek so much. I listened to Oliver De Cote, Osadebe. I listened to a whole lot of music. And I am this kind of person that I have the gift of replicating anything I want. Anything I think, I can bring it to reality. It's a gift. Okay. So
you mean in music?
Yes, in music. I can do anything I want to do in music. So, but I decided to choose Afrobeat because I grew up watching my father play Fela music, and I grew up knowing Fela as somebody who used his music to talk about the ills of the government, the ills in the society. Okay, so when I grew up, I started studying a lot about music, and I discovered something. I think that should be the reason why Fela chose Afrobeat too. I don't know, but I just feel. Now, this is it. If the message is too concrete and valuable, it needs a relaxed rhythm to pass it. If you use too much of vibing and whatsoever, call it, name it anything, rhythm, the people might either be driven away by the groove in the rhythm, forgetting the message. So Afrobeat to me is a freedom tone, is a freedom sound. Just like reggae is. You see, these two genres, they are relaxed. You don't overhype. They are relaxed, well articulated, with lots of melodies and ingredients and percussions and stuffs like that. You can preach the gospel. So I do all genre of music. Any genre of music I feel like doing, expressing or flexing my muscle with, I do. But when it comes to speaking activism, when it comes to talking for my people, I came from a very poor home. All of my life is pain. I grew up experiencing pain, seeing people suffer. I suffered a lot too growing up. I lost my dad at a very tender age. So the only way I think I can speak for people like me is by using my craft, which is music, to my microphone to speak out. So I see like Afrobeat to me is the best. Also, having been something that the icon, my role model, Fela Anikulapo Kuti, established. He established a platform for that, making Afrobeat something or some kind of music that you can use to pass such kind of message. I see more confidence for me. You understand? So that's why I choose Afrobeat. It's not like I can't do any other thing. I play anything I want.
Ella, the gospel song and Afrobeat seems to be the only songs in Nigeria that transcend ethnicity. I mean, there seems to bridge the gap of ethnicity, especially in the southern part of Nigeria. Sure. Okay, your take, Ella.
Actually, I won't say I chose gospel, but I happen to be the type that I watch situation and I try to fix it and see get the results. Okay. Actually, like Josh just said, I can sing everything any way you want it. Okay. But I realize that just like you said, that gospel is acceptable more. So I try to bring out in information I have in a gospel way, because there's something about God. God has solutions to everything. Yes, he has solutions to everything. So I prefer to pass the information in a way that it can penetrate very well, causing less harm, even if, okay. So that's just how I would say, because I still have some local songs, I still have some reggae songs, because naturally my song comes when I'm not even prepared, okay? An event can make me to come out with a song. If I'm traveling or whatever, I can just come out with a song with what I'm seeing happening on the road. But at the end of the day, before production, I try to bring it to a way that it is going to have more of a positive impact. So I think that's how I choose gospel to a large extent now. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Wow.
I'm cool today.
What do you think is the difference between Afrobeat and gospel song? MJ. Okay, go on. Yeah.
Okay. The difference I would say has to do with, so let me just be a bit raw, with the blackmail given to anything that a black man is spearheading. Afrobeat, personally, I love it more than any other thing, personally. But somehow, with the situation on ground and how we have been, should I say, manipulated, it looks ungodly to some persons. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, and you, I'm Josh. What is it?
Well, you want me to say something?
Yeah, but my question.
Okay.
Should I repeat it?
Okay. You sorry, you can repeat your question so I get it.
Yes, I said gospel song and what is the difference between gospel song and
well, from my own angle, this is it. Afrobeat is a genre of music. Like reggae is a genre of music.
Yes.
Like high life is a genre of music.
Yes.
Now, in every genre of music, the genre is the music, the rhythm, the music, but the words in it. For instance, the rhythm you use to play your gospel song, I can use it to sing a love song. Okay?
Yes.
I can also use Afrobeats to sing what you call your gospel song.
Yes.
Okay? Now, there is no difference. Like what I'm doing is a gospel song. I do gospel music. Am I not? I'm preaching gospel of redemption. Yes. My people are marginalized. My people are oppressed. My people are being killed. My people are dying. I mustn't say Jesus. I mustn't say Holy Spirit. I mustn't say God the Father, God the Son, you know. But I'm singing gospel.
Where are you?
I'm listening, brother. I'm listening.
No, I stand on the side of justice. I'm standing on the side of justice. I'm a gospel artist. Am I not? I'm singing gospel of redemption. Okay? This is it. Afrobeat is a genre of music. Like high life is like every other genre of music. I can decide to use high life. You can decide to use high life to sing Christian gospel song. Because it's Christian related. Like what the Christianity call gospel is different from what I may see as gospel. It's different from what the Hindi man may see as gospel.
Yeah. What you guys, both of you have just pointed out.
Is a genre.
Yeah. What both of you have just pointed out is that you can say that the main difference between Afrobeat and gospel song is that Afrobeat can be seen as a secular song, while gospel song is a religious song. Nevertheless, there is a kind of mixture. Both of them, you use both songs interchangeably, right? That's what you guys are saying. So, incidentally, the first known Nigerian to record gospel song was Fela Kuti grandfather.
You see.
That was he was the late Reverend Joshua Jesse Ransom Kuti, the grandfather of the legendary Afrobeat singer Fela Kuti. Fela's father was Israel Oludotun Ransom Kuti. That's his father's name. So it is possible that Fela, the king of Afrobeat, was influenced by gospel song. All right. From this, it can be deduced that all genres of music influence each other. So I would say, who is your idol, Josh?
Well, every good person is like Fela. Okay. Inspired me a lot.
Okay.
Bob Marley.
I just want
Bob Marley. So much. I love Bob Marley. These are music. You come into my studio, I open my archive where I keep music. You see, these are the people I listen to. Bob Marley, Fela, I listened to Majek Fashe too. Growing up, I listened to Ras Kimono. Growing up. Okay. So these people influenced me a lot. But particularly Fela. Okay. I listen to him so much.
Ella, you?
Yeah. My idol is this Igbo musician called Onyeka Onwenu. When I was a little child, her songs can just throw me off. I loved her so much. And I have been able to meet her once in life. And I love this other musician, Lucky Dube. I love his songs. Yeah, I do. So these are the two people I would say that I glue so much to.
Lucky Dube, my man.
Okay. So you don't know what's his name? Ikoli Harcourt White. Do you know him?
No, not much. No.
Ikoli Harcourt White? It's somebody you guys should know because when we talk about gospel song, and then we should be able to know talk about Ikoli Harcourt White. Can you see the picture?
Yes, I'm seeing it here.
Okay.
Okay.
He is another maker in the emergence of Nigerian gospel song. Like I've said earlier, this Reverend Joshua Ransom Kuti is the pioneer of gospel song. And another person that did a very wonderful work is this Ikoli Harcourt White, you know, and he influenced the gospel song in Nigeria. He was the late he was a leper for 45 years until his death in 1977 at the age of 72 years. He lived in leper settlement in Uzakoli, Abia State. And the colony or the settlement was owned by a Methodist church. So Harcourt White was a member of the school choir where he played the flute and drum. But in 1919, and I think that was at the age of 14, he was diagnosed with leprosy and removed from school. So at the leper settlement, he devoted most of his time studying the Bible and the Methodist book song from which he drew his inspiration. So we are talking about inspiration.
Okay.
And, yeah. So although he was a Calabari man from Abonem in River State, he stayed in Uzakoli, and this had influenced him to write song in Igbo language. So he is referred to as the father of Igbo church music. That's about. So I think someone we shouldn't forget as we remember Ransom Kuti. We should also remember this very man. You know. So going further to our almost to the end of our discussion, I would want to know, do you, this is a question for artists like George too, but George, are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
So artists, I want to ask a question that is very good. First, well, let me start with the guys in house, our guest, but George, let me start with them, then I will come back to you. All right. So
when you are putting this kind of smile, I know what I can't. I know it's gonna be a very.
Ella, let me start with you. Do you have a source of inspiration? I mean, do you take drugs that help your music production, or does it come naturally?
My music comes naturally.
Okay.
It comes naturally. I don't take drugs.
Okay.
I don't in any way because I so much believe in being natural.
All right.
Yeah.
And so you don't need drugs for your inspiration, right?
No.
And
no.
It is wrong for people to think that is right, right?
To me, it's very wrong because
we want to put it straight here that it is wrong.
Very.
You've just helped us do that. So,
yeah.
So, actually, you are good.
You know why I'm laughing?
That's right.
Why I'm laughing is the way he was laughing before he asked the question. So not mind me. This is the source of my inspiration.
What?
That pain, that agony in the eyes of my people when I see them being marginalized. That's what inspires me. Not drug. I don't take drugs. I'm always angry. I'm this kind of person. I'm very emotional. If you have met with people who know me, I react to things the way. In fact, I tell my friends I am human, so expect me to react. When you do something nice, I react very nicely. When you do something,
I know what you're saying.
Get the full dose of it. Okay, so I am that kind of person.
Yeah.
So when I see, when I see people suffer, when I see, sometimes I walk past the road and I see people being humiliated. Sometimes I get videos of people being shot. Sometimes lots of things. They inspire me. Like I told you, I grew up around pain. I know how it feels. Okay, I'm not telling you that maybe one motivational speaker said. No, this is something I have experience of. So I'm not inspired by any drug whatsoever. Yeah. Although I drink, I smoke, but that is not the source of my inspiration.
Yeah, the intention. Okay. Once again, this is Miro African Diaspora TV, live on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and yeah, like our page and subscribe to our YouTube to be notified each time we put out a new video. And going back to your to the case, Mazi George, we've just ascertained that drug doesn't help in arts production. Your take?
That is actually very correct. One thing to be underlined in every gifted artist is the realness of whatever he or she is doing. It must be something coming from within, you know. we must accept these days, you know, the issue of drugs comes in or alcohol. Sometimes out of this, you know, over joyousness or wanting to feel extra high. I mean, the high in this context is actually the thing in you, you know, trying to give it out, trying to showcase yourself is the first level of highness. Now, if you allow yourself to be controlled by the second class or the artificial highness, that is entirely dependent on individual artists. I like actually what M. just said, that, you know, the moment he beholds
Hello, we can see your face again.
you know, I mean, it gets him, you know, boiling, or this motivation comes to tell the world something. That is actually how it is with writers, with, you know, gifted movie artists. It has to come from within. We must, as a matter of fact, you know, condemn drugs that are attached to, you know, stage business.
Yeah.
It is, unlike African, we must not encourage it to new generation artists.
Thank you very much.
But then we must admit that it helps one or two individuals maybe face the crowd or stand the time, the period he or she needed to perform.
Okay. Drug abuse, we condemn it. We're saying this, and we want to put it straight. There is this drug called Mpurummiri. It is lavishing the life of our youth, and what the type of damage is causing. Oh my God, if you go to the social media and see what is happening there, you can't believe your eyes. So we would like to use this very opportunity to emphasize on the fact that drug enhancing or any enhancing substances is not going to help you become a musician or going to give you the inspiration. On the contrary, it's going to give you an illusion that you are getting inspiration.
Very correct.
The drug, the effect abates, then you will realize that you have been fooled. So, as your tutafia
very correct. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we know we are addressing group of people that are out there and they're taking drug, and they want to make us believe that that's the source of their inspiration. We don't believe that. All right. So, Stan, smile, Amuzie, not Stan. Smile, Amuzie. You have your last word for the opening, for the closing statement, please.
Well, I thank all the whole viewers, and I thank you, the host, Mazi Ahamefula, Robinson, Ambrose. You are doing a very great job, and you are making us proud. And I thank all the whole Mad TV team, you know, both the people behind the cameras. And then I thank also M. Josh, and I thank Ella, and I thank my co-pal. You know, I thank my own pal, Papa George. Chief Papa George, the words of Ikenga himself.
Thank you very much.
You know, and then I also my own brother again, is a room. I thank you. And then, like we said, keep following Mad TV. Follow on the Facebook, on the Instagram, the YouTube, and then Mad TV is also Mirror African Diaspora. Is a platform that a vision, have a very great vision for we Africans to have also a platform whereby we can be coming together, will be a bridge for us to come together. Yes. So everybody should support, and then we believe in that in after this Corona bubu yaya, we are going to, like we said, we are going to start also, like we are calling about having a platform. Now, first of all, it is another thing for one to produce your song and start to advertising it on the social media. And then it is another thing for people to come and watch you on the stage, interpreting your wisdom, I mean, your inspiration through art. You know, so this is also that what I'm believing that the MAT TV, you know, should also help us to see that once after this Corona bubu yaya, that we be able to have a, we be able, you know, I will be glad one day to share a stage with M. Josh here. You know, I will be.
It will come to pass. It will come to pass.
The other people.
It will come to pass.
So you people should talk about that. That is the conclusion of my word today. Thank you, my
ladies. Actually, it used to be ladies first, but I think I'm mistaking it today. So Ella, your last word.
Yeah, my last word is I so much appreciate what's going on here. Thank you, the hosts. Thank you, Smile. Thank you, Ezerue and Mr. George and M. Josh. Happy seeing you for the first time on such a live streaming. I'm so happy. I'm just so happy. And I know that this will continue.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
M. Josh, your turn.
Oh, I think network is disturbing here.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
It was dreaming.
Sorry, I didn't get it. The network was bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your last word. Your closing word.
Is it network?
Thank you. I'll start by saying big thanks to MAT TV. Yeah. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
Yes,
we can hear you now.
Okay. Yeah, I want to start by saying thank you to MAT TV, Miro African, for having me on this program. Thank you, Brother Robinson, Afamefuna. Thank you, Brother Smile, Amuse. Thank you, Maz George. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ella, for being on the program. And I want to also use this platform to say, please. Our people all over the world, you can follow them on all platforms. They are there on Facebook, they are on Instagram, I think also on Twitter as a Miro African Diaspora, MAT TV. So show your little support the little way you can, so that you join, you follow, you share, and so that you can get updates whenever there is, this is our own. Honestly, if you support the artistry, if you support the craft of me and other musicians, I think this is one of the ways to show that support. Because I think you know how it is. They are broadcasting from Germany, so it's more like taking us to the diaspora, taking us to the international. To support by making it, let's support by making it grow. So thank you so much for having me on the program.
And please do stay there. You still have to give us a live song.
Yes.
Oda? I'm speaking German, Oda.
Thank you. Sorry, I didn't hear you clearly. So what? Sorry, I didn't get you.
I know.
Yeah.
You're still gonna give us a live stuff. Are you not prepared for it? Are you going to give us?
Oh, okay.
Wait, when Pa George finishes, Pa George will say his, I will say mine, then we fed off with it. Is okay?
Okay.
Okay, so Pa George, your turn.
So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I salute your courage, young man, M. Josh. Keep it up. And Ella, I think I will still have to Google it or rather get to YouTube to see your own, your own form of gospel songs. Although I must tell you that we have gone the whole way of gospel and, Jesus of his story, and we now came back to embrace our tradition. But that is by the way. I salute your courage. Keep it up. Like Smile said, this is actually our own. Sometimes the problem we are facing as Africans is that the mega institutions that promote arts are kind of hijacked or taken over by the, do I say, the talks that controls the system. And that is why it is very difficult for a beginner or for somebody who is out to say things the way it is, why it is difficult for them to come up the ladder. We have a long history of artists who have been sidelined because they are anti, bad regime or anti-status quo. We are not going to give up. I hope one day that Mad TV, Mad broadcasting station will have the shoulders. Of course, I know the shoulder is there to bear this heavy load. We also encompass forms of, dimensions to portray our endowed creativity. Africa is where it is. And in West Africa, in Igbo land, we are inspiration ourselves. So, but people who I think know us more than we know ourselves are bent on holding us down. That we are not going to allow them. So I encourage each and every one of you. I salute you as well, Mr. Ezeruom. I hope one day we will sit together to discuss how we are going to, make something happen. Of course, I'm here with Smile. We see us once in a while, and we'll continue to work together, for our own betterment. Thank you very much, and thank you as well, our listeners.
All right. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you, Smile Amuzie. Thank you, Mazi Ezeruom. Thank you, Mazi George. And thank you, M. Josh, for being here, for being our guest today. It is our honor to have a popular Afrobeat like you. Now, and I realize why I have to ask you if I'm allowed to share your music that day. I never knew it's going to come this way. So truth is always very, very good. Truth is always good. That's what I wanted to say. Keeping it truth in everything we do. You never know. Life is always like a small yo-yo. Yes. When you think it is over, you see it dangling live in your face. So you never give up. That is the consistency. Consistency is everything. No matter where you are, no matter who is behind you, consistency is the most important thing in everything we are doing. And Adaniwani, that's the way we say it in my town, Adaniwani.
Mazi is back.
Sorry? Yeah. So we call every lady Adaniwani. That's a respectful form of addressing a lady in a girl or a woman in my town. I don't want to mention where I come now before they start looking for me. Anyway. All right.
Ezeruom, we never hear from Ezeruom. His last word.
Ezeruom, please. You disappeared and reappeared. We have stayed beyond the time, so make it snappy.
What I wanted to say is going to be particularly to M. Josh. M. Josh, I watched your video. The first one was classic. The second one was classic. You have classic music. And I think you have done, in the music business, we should understand that talent is not enough. That is one thing I want to say. What I would like you to understand is that talent is not enough. There is need for serious networking. At this point, you have done the first phase of what it takes to be there. So the next phase right now is trying to collaborate, network, and mix up with people that you think that are in the same category or the same line of music, mix up with them so that you can get what they have and mix and these two interchange with them and all that. So please take that seriously, because I heard the song while I'm here in Europe, and it's a very great song, and you have everything it takes to be up there. So you don't need to stay hidden at all in any way. You understand? So we love the music.
Yeah, sorry.
And I want to use the opportunity also to say thank you to everybody that have been here, because you've been wonderful. And Madam Eya, maximum respect. You know, keep doing what you're doing and make sure you keep pushing, because if you have chance to also mix up with M. Josh, it's an opportunity that we've been here now.
Yes.
Mix up with M. Josh.
To see the gospel.
You understand?
That would be nice.
Yeah, it's an opportunity. You never can tell. M. Josh, we are not here just to talk and tomorrow everybody will just go and sleep off. No. It's an opportunity for us to also network and work together and see what we can do, because a lot of things are happening even here in Europe and here, even in Nigeria. There is need for networking. It's not just, the talent is not enough. After producing, you need to distribute. After writing, you need to publish. After broadcasting, you need to share. So there are a lot of things that are beyond just getting the production. So please, let's take other areas seriously, because we've been taking our talent seriously enough. So that is not enough. Let's also take other areas seriously. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
We have stayed more than one and a half hour. It's not good for our production. All right.
It's all right.
So,
it's all right.
I'm Josh. We are waiting for your song.
Okay.
Ella.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I didn't play our song. I think we have to have another session. You and I, where the song is going to be played.
Just no problem.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Let me do small freestyle on this. What to vibe and vocals? Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. It's time to break loose from the chain. It's time for our freedom, Africa. Because we can never let them negotiate our freedom, no. Oh. Hundreds of years it's gone. The Messiah came for the black man. Yeah. They told us that Jesus died for us, but the black man still is suffer. Yeah. The truth be said, Africa will rise at the right time. And the time we're waiting for is right now. No one can hold the truth for a long time. No.
Beautiful.
So stay away. The sun is risen from the east. And the Messiah we wait is right here. And no one is going to try to stop that. I can hear the great call for justice, freedom. Let the sun rise. Yeah. Freedom for Biafra. Freedom. Freedom the Kano.
Yes.
A sound of salvation. Freedom.
Yes.
Let Africa rise. Yeah.
Freedom.
Biafra. Freedom. Freedom the Kano.
Freedom.
Man, we can't wait for this to come out, man. You have
Wow,
to print this
beautiful,
out, man. Print this out. This is great.
Beautiful.
This is massive.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Keep it up.
Bye. Bye-bye. This is Miro African Diaspora TV. Live on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and like our YouTube video so that you can be notified each time we post a new video.
That's it.
Yeah.
Wish you a wonderful night today and have a wonderful evening, everybody, depending on where you're watching from. My name is Robinson Afamefuna Ambrose. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.